Bible, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, Malachi 3:10. If I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive. Are we still on?
I just turned it back on.
Okay. Some translations put it, until you shall say, it is enough. Open and the windows of heaven refers back to that same situation in Genesis 7, windows of heaven, which from the Hebrew is floodgates of heaven. The floodgates of heaven, and pour you out a blessing. Now, the first time the floodgates of heaven opened, there had to be enough water to cover at least 6+ feet above the tallest mountain. Because there, I'm sure, was one guy who didn't make it in the ark, who's doing this, who's thinking, and so it had to be just high enough over that guy's head to get rid of all the wicked, evil people that were doing a bunch of bad stuff, so that Noah and his gang could, and his family could get out of there, and all those animals, which, for your benefit, animals. So,
and ultimately for yours.
This is true. This is true. Though I did promise Tammy that I would become a vegetarian.
Did you really?
I did, after I've eaten all the animals.
Oh, okay. Really?
So bad.
I thought you were going to say something like that before I got here.
When you eat meat, you're a vegetarian. Cows eat grass.
It's all just metabolized grass. All the muscle you're eating.
That's right.
It's
a conversion process.
It's just as bad as Bill Cosby, him and his cake. I'm feeding my kids milk because there's milk in this.
There's eggs and there's meat.
That's right.
And everything I eat turns to poop anyway, so...
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer. I get the vegetables.
The circle of life. Anyway, okay. Can we move on now?
Trollops.
Hey, notice I haven't said too much.
I'm trolloping right now. I think this is what trollops are. So, and he did that. I mean, that rain came down for 40 days and 40 nights. Now that's a lot of... So I started thinking about that, in light of... Because we tithe. We faithfully tithe and go beyond the tithe. And so I expect that promise. I mean, we're into that. That's one of the great things. And I know for our Mormon brethren, also I know our Mormon brethren are big on tithing.
Yep.
And that's tremendous. I mean, it's an absolute law. I mean, people can fight against it if they want. That's their privilege. So then I'm expecting the other side of it, right? I mean, the windows of heaven, that there shall not be room enough to receive it, or until you say enough. Now think of this room. So I started thinking, okay, room enough to receive it. This room, if you took briefcases, and I bought a standard size briefcase, not the real thin ones, but a standard size briefcase, and $100 bills, you can put $1 million in there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not the smallest, but
Your regular...
About this big,
yes,
probably.
yes, about that thick.
Sopranos.
Not that thick. So, in this, that's about, let's see, what would we say, Brewer? We would say
4.5 inches.
about 4.5 inches. Now, in this room, that's right, Brewer, you've got tiles. So, I know you can figure this out. So 4.5 inches, and about how wide would you say? That's it.
The briefcase?
That's about...
I think it's like 14 inches. 14 to 15 inches.
And it's enough to put a legal paper in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Probably
that's what I've
15.
got here. So about 15. So 4.5, 15, and
12.
let's see. I have a legal pad in here. Okay. So about 15 by. Oh, it's actually longer this way.
Oh, yeah.
So
16.
easy, 16. Okay, so you could fit in this room, stacked up. How many of these could you get from floor to ceiling? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.5.
7 and 1 on its side.
7.
Yeah,
Okay.
7
One
on
on the
one side.
Okay. So about 7 and 1 on the side. Okay, and that's going this way. And how many of these could you get that way, do you think?
A lot.
How
How
long
many
is this room?
tiles are there? There's like.
Yeah, how many will this go for? Well, we're 4.5 inches, so.
That's about 24 inch.
4, 5, 6, 7, 11.
About 17 or
24 times. What did we say, 11? 24 times 11? So this is 22 feet, this room.
Okay, so 22 feet long. So 22 feet, how many times does 4.5 go into,
22 feet?
yeah, 4.5 inches? Go into, well, you'd have to do
How many
22 feet
inches?
times 12.
Got it.
Yeah, 22 feet, 22 times 12
We
divided by
got
4.
58.
58.
Okay, so far 58 and a half. Okay, so we've got 58 and a half briefcases going that way, and we have times 7.5 that we come up with.
8
Correct.
because you could still take a hole and turn it on its side. That makes sense?
Okay, yeah, but then you got to
440.
all that other
That's
figure.
How many?
So just
So
400.
440 along that. Now we got to go this way, Brewer. 440
40
times how many
4,
going
6,
like
8,
this?
10.
Like going like this.
10. Right. Now, what do we say, 16?
Yeah, 16.
Okay, well, that's 16 inches into 10, let's see, 10 into 24, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So 6, 7 times 12. 24 equals 168. Divide that by 16.
Yep.
16 equals, yeah, 10 and a half.
So 10 and a half across.
Briefcase, yeah.
Okay, so we had 10 and a half times 440.
Right.
What is that?
4,620 briefcases.
4,600 and oops,
Oh, yeah.
4,620 briefcases
In this
times
room.
$1 million.
times $1 million.
You're going to the billions.
That's right. So you have 4,620,000,000. You want to just round it up for simplicity and say 5 billion. Because Tammy's going to figure out how to get those
I know
extra.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I was just thinking that I'm
Give or
like that.
And my daughter would not be satisfied unless if you counted those.
Wouldn't that be fun?
5
Swimming pool
billion.
money and just jump into it and swim around for a minute.
Bunch of paper cuts, dude. It's not worth it.
Okay, now multiply that times 40 days and 40 nights, or just 40 days. I mean, we come into this room and there's not room enough to receive it because the room's full of briefcases full of money, and so you go, holy smokes, we got to get these out of here. I got a meeting in here, so we get all the briefcases out of here, and then I go, phew, finally, okay, tomorrow we'll have everything set up for the meeting. I come in tomorrow and it's full again. And that happens for 40 days and 40 nights. You take 40 times this, and we've got 200 billion.